this a good thing with that Hollywood and media, our industries have been dissipated somewhat in terms of the power centers?
I don't know. It's a really interesting question. I think it hurts us and it harms us and helps us. It hurts us in the following way. And this is an argument that in my episode on Will and Grace, I talk about. It's a fascinating argument, which is that if you go back to the 60s and 70s when everyone's watching one of three or four major networks, now in those years, three major networks, and where you do have shows that are, getting 30% of the American viewing audience on a given night. What happens is what they call mainstreaming. And what they noticed was that the best predictor of someone's political beliefs was how much TV they watched in that era. Oh. And the more TV you watched, the more you tended to move towards the center. In other words, so television had what they called a mainstreaming effect. And it was two parts. It was because television shows, to be successful, had to appeal to so many Americans. If you know out of the gate that to be successful, you got to reach 50 million Americans, you're going straight down the middle, right? You're not taking some kind of wild, controversial stand. Mm-hmm. And similarly, when everyone's watching the same thing, it's easier for us to reach consensus. So I use the example of Dragnet. That's a period in the 50s and 60s where most Americans had a very positive attitude about their police department. And it's in part because they were watching these shows which portrayed, all of us were watching these shows that portrayed police departments in a very positive light. Same thing with remember Marcus Welby, MD,
Oh, yeah. Now you're really going back.
The kindly family doctor. And and I wasn't, but because I'm too young, but an entire generation, everyone watched that show. Everyone was. And it's very hard to have polarized views about family doctors when everyone's watching Marcus MD once a week, right?
Right.
So
right.
That's part of, I kind of think that part of the reason for the polarization, just part, not the whole reason, of American political life is that we don't have these unifying experiences in the same way. I mean, we have football, and there's really very little else that we all watch together.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why people objected when football got political somewhat. It's like, whatever your feelings are, we don't want it in our sports. We just, same way people got upset about the Academy Awards getting political. It's like, could you please keep politics out of these things that used to be untouchable when it came to politics?
Yeah.
We don't have that many things that will bind us together, where we don't have to watch it with the blink, blink, blink eyes. Like, I know they're going to punch me in the face any second now on my core beliefs or something. It's sad because, we grew up at a time when you didn't have to worry about that. There were certain venues you could go to and just enjoy yourself, and you didn't have to get, a lecture on how much America sucks or how bad this group is or that group, the other, something political, a political message. And those days are gone.
Yeah. There are these kinds of shared, having a kind of national conversation about, can we reimagine shared spaces again? Can we kind of, there's one of the reasons, for example, that I think that the Army and the military has remained so high in public esteem, even as other institutions have tumbled, is that the armed forces are a shared experience. Not a perfectly shared experience, but they are a place where people from every corner of the country go and engage it's not an ideological, partisan thing. It's on a very, very simple mission to serve the country and protect it. I mean, that's a shared space and a kind of neutral shared space. And that's why we continue to hold the military in high esteem in this country, because they have been very good and very careful about occupying that kind of common neutral ground. Some musicians have done the same thing, I think, to great.
I would agree with you for the most part, but I would say the rank and file of the military, that's true. But some of these generals have gotten pretty outspoken. Milley and what he was doing with Trump. I mean, I've had the people on the show, military guys, famous military guys who were just appalled that he would weigh in on politics at all. Like, just don't say anything, even though there may be within his circles cachet and saying Trump's bad and I called the leaders and I told him he's not insane. Like, be quiet. You don't know what the earth that you are rattling right now. You're changing. There's a seismic shift happening under your feet that you do not have the privilege or the invitation to make. You know, that's not what you were put there to do. I personally still have resentment toward him for doing that. It's like, just be quiet. Whatever you did, whatever you feel, I get it. You're entitled to it. Stop broadcasting it because you speak for an enormously important group. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. From blue light glasses to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bon Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly. Their glasses come in non-prescription, prescription, and reading options. Bon Charge also has other amazing products like low blue light bulbs, red light therapy devices, EMF 5G protection, and 100% blackout sleep masks, all backed by science. They can ship worldwide in rapid time. And most importantly, they have easy returns and exchanges. Go to boncharge.com/MK and use coupon code MK to save 20%. That's BONCHARGE.com/MK and use that coupon code MK to save yourself 20%. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.